Hi, my name is Mason, and I recently passed what most people might think are the two hardest courses in Humber's real estate program. And I gotta say, course two can definitely suck my. So if you didn't already know, this program is divided up into courses. Those courses are divided up into modules. Those modules are divided up into lessons, and those lessons are then slides that students read at their own pace. If you're curious about what's actually in these modules, I'll leave a link to Humber's website where you can read up on all that information there. So the way this video is going to be structured is first I'm going to talk about my own opinion-based pros and cons. Then I'm going to talk about my exam experience and how I studied and passed. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about one thing that I really wish I knew before I started taking this program, so stick around for that. The main point of this video is just to provide some insight from a student, since we're all teaching ourselves for the most part and learning at our own pace. Now, if you're wondering how much time it took me to get through both these courses, it took me about a month and a half to get through course 1 and about 2 months to get through course 2 while working around 35 hours a week. So the biggest plus about taking a program like this is that it's super flexible. Since it's all do at your own pace, you can really build it around your own schedule. I know myself personally, I study better in the morning, so I told my work that I only have nighttime availability. One other nice thing about this program is that the content for the most part is mainly all straightforward. There's mini quizzes in between the lessons to test your knowledge to see if you understand what you're learning. And if you ever do feel confused by the content, you can usually just give a quick Google search and you'll find a different definition that may help you understand it better. And I know one thing I was a little concerned about before I started this program was math. I feel like I'm not alone in saying this, but I'm not the best at math. But the math that you do have to deal with in this program is simple stuff like calculating the area of an irregular shape, calculating debt, and just simple percentages and things like that. Not too much to worry about. And since everything is so straightforward, there's not a need to take a lot of notes, I found. In course 1, I definitely did take a lot of notes, but that's mainly because everything was so new and I was really trying to build my understanding. But I noticed in course 2, it's like double the content of course 1, and I took maybe 3 pages of notes. And that's because course 1 is mainly the essentials, and course 2 really just holds up in a magnifying glass to what you already learned. You'll still see things like the building code, you'll still be covering REBA from scratch in the other modules. And that also kind of leads into the biggest con of this course. Everyone refers to course 2 as a monster because of the amount of content in it, but there's so much content that it seems like maybe 50% of it is almost overlap of course 1. If you found this channel before, I did have a course 1 breakdown video, but I deleted it. I'm making this one because I felt like I was talking about too many of the same things within the same videos. And hands down, the number one thing that will take up your time in course 2 is filling in contracts. It's not like it's something that's difficult to do, it's just tedious and annoying to have to fill in like someone like the seller and buyer's name for the 50th time. So all the exams are done online right now due to COVID, and this is done through a program called ProctorTrack. And ProctorTrack is just a service where someone supervises you virtually through your laptop while you take your exam. I myself have never had any issues with ProctorTrack with my exam starting or being supervised, but I have heard of a lot of other people having issues with their exam, like taking almost an hour to start. They still write it, but just taking a while to start, and just people not being able to connect to their proctor. I myself have had no issues with 2 exams, but other people have. Now, the main way I studied, since I didn't take a lot of notes, was a paid study service, and that study service was passive. Anyone that takes this course will probably swear by Passit as a number one thing that helps them pass their exam. Passit's nice because it comes with over 1,000 multiple choice questions depending on the course you're currently in. It comes with a nice bank of true or false questions and also comes with a nice game for matching terms as well. The 2 main things I try to do with Passit before my exams is get my average mark on my multiple choice questions up to 75%, so the passing mark. And also while I'm practicing with the multiple choice questions, I'll take note of which modules I'm getting the questions wrong the most and then just pick those modules to do questions from. And now a lot of people also say Passit can be a lot harder than the actual exam, and that can be the opposite for some people. For my case, I had a 81 average on Passit going into exam 1, and I passed exam 1 with a 77. And oddly enough, with course 2, I just got my averages up to 75 going into the exam, and I passed the exam with an 81. And now my biggest tip for these exams is that you need to bookmark your questions and read them carefully. The wording of the questions is almost as tricky as the answer itself. They use a lot of double negatives, there's a lot of not questions. However, the not questions are the easiest, it's just knowing what's the wrong move to make in each situation. And now the first exam is 2 hours, 75 questions, and the second exam is 3 hours, 115 questions. And oddly enough, I took the full 2 hours on my first exam, and I took 2 hours again only on my second exam when I had the full 3 and more questions. And this is mainly due to the fact that I felt like a lot of the questions in course 2 were easier and stuff I've already seen before from course 1 due to the overlap. Now, the one thing I wish I knew before taking this program is just how self-disciplined you really need to be. There is no one telling you when there's a deadline, there's no one telling you when to get a lesson done, there's no one telling you when to go to school, there's no one telling you anything. The most amount of guidance you get is Humber has a recommendation on how many modules to complete a week. They recommend 2 to get through the course within a year. And even though it's what I was the least prepared for, it's honestly the best thing about this program because you're going to be really self-disciplined and able to manage yourself by the time you get your license and truly have no one managing you. All in all, I would say I'm very happy with this program so far. I can't wait to finish course 3 and I can't wait to see what these simulations are like. Now, outside of this program, I have been learning a lot because I've been shouting a realtor who was named the #1 social media realtor in my city. So I hope to have a video up talking about my experience with that and hopefully a video about course 3 too if you guys are interested. Thanks for watching.